I am currently sailing on the Norwegian Prima. I am just about to finish a 5-day sailing from New York to Bermuda and back. What I like to do is at the end of each one of my cruises, I like to do a review and a debrief while everything's fresh in my mind. It's never going to be more fresher than while I'm still on the ship. So I'm going to do everything right now up to disembarkation. So I'm going to go over embarkation, the ship, service, entertainment, the itinerary, food, people, technology and Wi-Fi, and then I'll come back at the end from tomorrow and I'll talk about disembarkation so that you have everything all in one. Let's go get into it. Hey everyone, Johnny from Byte Size Cruises. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, we're a travel agency. We're trying to give you the best information possible about cruising so that you can plan and go on an amazing cruise vacation. Generally, when I go on a cruise, every time I get done, I do one of these reviews and debriefs, and I go through all of the different things that I had previously mentioned. So now I'm adding a few little elements to this because what we found was I was doing about 20 videos per cruise. So I would come back and I would do each of the specialty dining restaurants. I would talk about the included food. I would talk about the technology. I would talk about who the ship's for, the budget, the ship overview, and we did a ton of vlogs. And it just seems like everybody just stops caring after a while. I totally get it. Me too. So how much can you watch about one ship, one sailing? So what I decided to do was combine a lot of those things together in this review and debrief, which will make this a little bit longer. Hopefully that's okay. And then we're going to cut down on the amount of videos afterwards. However, just to give you a quick rundown, after this video, you will see a few vlogs. You'll see the first embarkation day vlog. Then you'll see a vlog for just the rest of the trip. You'll also see a food review, a thorough food review. I'm going to do a chunk of it here, but I will do a thorough food review because I think that's a big one. Entertainment, everything else will be in here. And then we will do the who we think the ship is for, top 10 things to do, and of course a ship tour. So let's get into it. The first thing we're going to talk about here on our review, just making sure I pull up everything and do it correctly, is embarkation. So here's what I will say. This is going to be slightly different for everybody, but on our specific cruise here, embarkation was a little bit different. And there's one big reason for that. The ship was repositioned from Galveston, so they had 6 days with no passengers. During that time, they were doing a lot of construction, cleanup. They were fixing some things, painting some things, and we'll talk about that stuff as we get into the ship. But embarkation for us was super smooth because there was no one on the ship. Here's the deal though, it was much later. So generally you can get to the port at like 9 or 10 in the morning. You're on board by 11:30ish at the earliest, 11:15, 11:30. We weren't even allowed to check in till 12:30, 1 o'clock was the earliest check-in time. We checked in at 1:30. I think 1 was the earliest. We checked in at 1:30. I mean, it was from the time we hit the New York Manhattan terminal. It's usually a little bit of a delay on when I cruise Norwegian. It takes a little bit of time. And I have status too. So generally speaking, I get to check in pretty quickly and get on board. And it still takes a chunk of time because I feel like everybody just shows up at the same time. However, they were pretty strict about it, about you showing up on time. So we got there, we were able to check in, and we were on the ship within 10 minutes. It couldn't have been smoother. However, your mileage may vary. That may not be the case for you because other people may be getting off the ship like a normal sailing, and then you're going to run into those normal delays and issues. When we got on the ship, the rooms were ready. Everything was good to go. Generally on Norwegian recently, I've been seeing the rooms ready around 2:30, which is very late for most cruise lines. So just a heads up to be aware of that if you are going to be sailing on Prima. Next up, let's talk about the ship. Here's the deal. I was on the ship 3 years ago. There were things I liked about it, things I didn't like about it. I kind of still feel the same way. The ship is beautiful. You get on the ship, it's very elegant, right? The aesthetic is very like modern. It's very beige and blue. However, this is all according to your taste. I'm just giving you my taste, my opinion. So in my opinion, I would like just a splash of color. Some of the restaurants, like Cagney's, has a splash of color, which is really nice because Cagney's is usually pretty dull. Onda has a little bit of splash of color. So I tend to lean towards a little more fun, kitschy design on a cruise ship. I like elegant. I think the cruise ship looks beautiful. It just feels a little bit muted at times. And here's the only other things about the cruise ship. Everything looks pretty beautiful. The ship is fairly new. It's only 3 years old. It's not even 3 years old yet. However, there are a lot of things that don't quite work right. So on this particular sailing, they were in the middle of repainting the pool, which apparently took too long. So the pool was closed for the first few days. Not a big deal. I don't really get in the pool anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. I'm sure it was for some people, but it was also cold the first couple of days. So they did give $100 onboard credit for that. I think that is awesome. So it was very nice. But we did notice that the mini golf, for instance, usually $5 to play mini golf. The mini golf course is awesome. It's got all kinds of electronic features where you put the ball down, it reads the ball, it's going to ask you trivia questions, do a bunch of fun different things. None of that is working currently. To their credit, they did not charge us for it. You could play mini golf, but it was just basically hitting the ball around like a normal mini golf course, which is fine. But just be aware that there are some cool elements, they just weren't working. I don't know how long they haven't been working, but I have seen it on YouTube that they weren't working as well. So just be aware of that. The darts as well were down for a portion of the cruise. They have a really cool darts area where you pay, I think it's $10 or $15 for 30 minutes. And you can have up to six people on your lane. You play darts. It's really, really nice areas. They're like little cool booths outside. We were unable to do that, but it does look like it was up and running the last day. So again, that looks like it's been fixed. The racetrack, we were unable to get on. It was just super crowded. But the racetrack is very cool. It looks awesome. Otherwise, everything else around the ship looks beautiful. It is a very new ship. I'm in the room here. You can see these are the studio rooms. My studio room was beautiful. It's really, really nice. I like it a lot more than the studio cabins on board the older ships. It feels a little larger. It's just set up way better. On the other ones, it was very futuristic looking, and they had like sliding doors. On this, they have regular doors. The desk area is more modular. The bathroom is beautiful. It's on the other one, there was like a separate toilet, separate shower, and it was really tight in the toilet area. This is awesome. It's beautiful. So double thumbs up for that. I really enjoy the ship. The only other critique I have about the ship, and keep in mind on these reviews and debriefs, I always like to start out by telling everyone, we love cruising. We're a travel agency. We of course want you to go on cruises and have an amazing time. So our goal here is not to be overly salacious about anything. My goal is to be completely honest with you and give you the feedback from all these cruises that I've been on. Just tell you what I thought was really nice, what I thought maybe needed some work. We're not going to trash anything. If something was really terrible, we would of course tell you it was terrible, but we're not going to clickbait you into being like, oh, it was so bad. No, nothing's that bad. 99.9% of the time, we have an amazing time on every cruise that we go on. Are there complications and things that go wrong? Of course. It's like that with everything, but it's not every cruise, and it's not every room, and it's not everything. And people love to create those little clickbaity things. We're just not going to do it. So also keep in mind that we pay for every one of our cruises. We don't get paid by the cruise lines or anything like that in order to give these reviews. So they're completely honest. We have nothing to gain, nothing to lose here. No one's going to get mad at me. We're on NCL Pearl. I love Norwegian. We were on Norwegian Pearl a few years ago. We had a terrible experience. We talked about it. Nobody said a word to me about it. So we are going to be honest, whether we have a great time or we don't. Like I said, we have a great time on cruises. It's awesome. We had a great time on this cruise. My only other critique of the ship is that there are weird turns and hallways that don't go anywhere. It's just it's a little bit of a strange design. I'm sure some people love it. It's just not particularly my favorite. I love Norwegian Encore. I like the Breakaway Plus class ships. So I was excited for this. I'm also excited for Aqua and Luna because I think they tried to fix some of the problems that people talked about on this ship. For instance, this ship does not have a really good review. I think it's in the 2-point-somethings. If you look online, I think it's fine. The ship's fine. Just, I wouldn't go out of my way. It's not my particular aesthetic, but I do think that the ship is beautiful. When we talk about entertainment, we'll talk about some of the venues and stuff. So let's get into service. As per normal, I thought the service was great. We talked to some people today. Shout out to Cece and her husband. They were super nice. We've met so many nice people that are subscribers or watch our channels. On this cruise in particular, everyone's nice. We give out all our pins. We bring pins on every cruise. We give them all out. And they complained a lot. They're in the Haven. They complained a lot about the service. They didn't have a great feeling about just walking by people. It seemed like people were down or not as happy. I didn't have that experience. Again, I'll be honest with you. We'll be critical where it needs to be critical. But I didn't see that. They're in a different part of the ship. They're experiencing different things. So you may have a completely different experience than I do. In our experience, their room steward was great, they said. But our room steward has been great. All the servers at the specialty dining have been great that we've gone to. So we've had some really, really good service. You know, there's always people that aren't having a great day. But for us, the service has been excellent. Next up, let's talk about the entertainment. This is my big complaint with Norwegian. I love some of the entertainment. When I was on here before, they had the Donna Summer show. I loved it. And now they've gotten rid of all the Broadway entertainment on Norwegian, and they said people don't want to watch, people don't want to go. I don't find that to be true. However, they know better than I do, I'm sure, I hope. They do have the Burn the Floor Bossa Nova Beat show here. It's just not for me. I love dancing, I love musicals, I love Broadway, I love variety shows. I just don't love like 45 minutes of Latin ballroom. It's just not for me. I know some people love it. It's fine. The show looks great. If you're into that, I'm sure the show's fantastic. It's just not my style of show that I prefer. Now, the other shows that they had on board, they had a Welcome On Board show. It was great. We enjoyed it. It's like a variety show. You get some singers. We saw the crew talent show today. That was great. So nice. The crew was really good. They had some really talented people singing and dancing. Fantastic. Love it. Then they do a little Norwegian celebration at the end where all the crew comes out. Really, really fantastic. Sid Norman's, one of the things that I hate about Sid Norman's is the size of it. On every ship, it's too small. You have to wait an hour to 2 hours to get in. Nothing's worth waiting that long on a cruise ship. Same here. So in order to we tried to go to Sid Norman's a few times. We couldn't get in. We got there over an hour ahead of time and there was already a long line. I'm not standing for an hour and a half to 2 hours on a cruise. I'm just not going to do it. To their credit, they took the rumor show, the Fleetwood Mac rumor show, which is fantastic, and they put it in the theater. And it was so good. It was excellent. Both shows were sold out. It was great. We really enjoyed it. That was a highlight of the trip. So really good. The other disappointing thing here is that they do prices right. And generally speaking, for mostly everything like entertainment, for specialty dining, all that stuff, you can pre-book some of the stuff pre-cruise, but they don't release everything. So they leave things for when you get on. We got on the ship and tried to book prices right the minute we got on the ship, and it was sold out, which I don't love that they do that, because we generally wait to like make our dining reservation because we want to figure out what we're doing. And you weren't able to do it. So Price is Right is tonight. We're not going to be able to go, which is really sad. I saw Price is Right before and it is a blast. So I'm really sad that we can't do that. They do have Wheel of Fortune on board too. It is much more of a cash grab where you have to pay to play. It's still fun if it's your first time checking it out. And they do Deal or No Deal, of course, too. The cruise director staff, as we talk about entertainment around the ship, have been great. Really great. Alvin is the cruise director. He's moving to Aqua. It's been fantastic. And the theme parties in that venue, the Prima Theater, which is like the nightclub as well. It's such a cool space. They do such a good job with it. The Glow Party was great. The 80s party was great as well. They do a really good job with the themed parties and they've been excellent. So really good feedback there. And the entertainers around the ship have been really good. Singers, piano players, guitarists, all of those things have been really, really good. So entertainment's been great. My biggest complaint is with Sid Norman's and the Comedy Club are both super tiny. We tried to go to the Comedy Club. Last night we got there about 45 minutes ahead of time. It was already completely packed. So just things to keep in mind if you're going. If you do want to go to those venues, which is a shame, they're great, especially Sid Norman's. It's great. The shows in there are fantastic. You're just going to be stuck waiting an hour and a half. Next up, let's talk about the itinerary. This is a really nice itinerary. We did a 5-day cruise overnight in Bermuda. I love Bermuda. The 7-day cruise is even better. You do 2 overnights, but I love this itinerary. Very quick, 1 port, go, come back, sea days on bookends on the other side. and your embarkation day. So it's really, really great. I love this itinerary. That was fantastic. Next up, let's talk about the food. We're going to do a full review of the food, but I've enjoyed everything that I've eaten on board the ship. I did have one weird meal. I had yogurt this morning, a yogurt parfait, and there was garlic in it, so somebody must have dropped garlic in it while they were making it, which is a little off-putting. But I've heard several people have talked to us and have complained about the food. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're just they're eating in different places. We ate at Hudson's. I talked to several Haven people who have complained about breakfast. And they have breakfast in Cagney's if you're in the Haven. And they did not enjoy it. So it could be just something going on there, but just something to be aware of if you're in the Haven. I know everyone complains about the Haven now as well, with the menus haven't changed in forever. They don't have specials. I completely agree with that. We didn't experience that because we're not in the Haven. But we ate at a few specialty dining restaurants. We ate at the local a lot, which is included in your cruise fare, which is great. They have pretzel bites, fish and chips, a bunch of different fun things there. It's like a little, pub. We've eaten at Indulge Food Hall, which everyone loves. It is really hard to get a seat there as well. We went there for lunch on day 2, and it was already full at 12. It opens at 12. So we did get to eat there at one of our Bermuda days because it was sunny out and there was outdoor seating. And then we ate there on embarkation day because we got on the ship quickly and went there right away. I enjoy it there. It is really cool. You can pick from a bunch of different things. They deliver them. You order them on your iPad and they deliver them. It's a nicer experience than the buffet, in my opinion. So that is really good. The buffet is very small and it does get crowded. Just be aware of that because they have Indulge Food Hall, they have the local, they have a bunch of different places to eat. So just something to be aware of, that the buffet does get a little more crowded than it does on some of the other ships. Other than that, we ate at a bunch of specialty dining. We ate at Los Lobos, the Mexican restaurant. We had a fantastic meal there. We'll do a full review on the food. We ate at Hasuki, which is the hibachi restaurant. We ate at Food Republic, which was excellent, and Palomar, which is the Mediterranean restaurant, which was really, really, really great. So look forward to the food review. Those things are going to be in that. A couple things left. Let's talk about the technology on board. NCL is a new app. It's not great. So leading up to the cruise, the app was not counting down correctly, which is fine. You had to log out and log back in for it to change the amount of days left. Once you get on, I found the internet to be good. The internet on this whole cruise was very good. No issues, no drops. It slowed down a little bit as you head into port, but that's pretty normal. But otherwise, the internet was very good. The app is just, it's not great. So you have your Freestyle Daily in there, which is your daily program, but there's no details on anything, which is one of my pet peeves with all the cruise lines. It'd be great if they had like a little, if you could push it and it would hover, or it would just open up and tell you what it's about. There are some things you have no idea what they are. It's just like, hey, cake challenge. And you're like, well, what's that? And maybe they just want you to show up for it and check things out, but it'd be nice if they had a little summary. And unlike most of the current apps, you can't save anything. You can't say like, yeah, remind me, I want to go to this, or add it to my calendar, or do anything like that. It's just the basic daily schedule in there. So that's not great, but otherwise the app works. It works well. You can make your dining reservations in there, and your entertainment reservations, which you can't do anyway because Price is Right was sold out. So that's that. Next up, let's talk about the people. So everyone's been really nice. Like I said, we met a ton of nice people. You do have we're leaving out of New York, okay? We're from the Northeast. We get it. You get some people, some out-of-pocket people from the Northeast. So I know on a few cruise lines now, they've banned Bluetooth speakers. Thank you for doing that. We've had 3 or 4 experiences on this cruise. We got on an elevator with a couple who brought a Bluetooth speaker on the elevator and blasting music. We're in public, people. What are you doing? We were up in the observation lounge last night. And the observation lounge, to be clear, is not a library. However, it's a bit of a quiet space. And we were up there, we were sitting there, there's music playing. Keep in mind, there's music playing pretty much everywhere around the ship. But there's music playing in the observation lounge. And we're sitting there, and a family sits down next to us with kids, and they just start playing their own music. Again, we're in public. What do we do? What are we doing? Have we lost all respect for everyone else around us? Is everyone so entitled that we just need to do whatever we want to do? But otherwise, people have been great. We had a couple incidents, and there was a ton of people vaping around the ship, which is becoming a problem. I see people vaping everywhere. First of all, if you're an adult and you're vaping, what are we doing? What are we doing? Just be an adult and smoke. Get outside and smoke. Be an adult. Smoke a cigarette. You shouldn't be smoking little cotton candy fun treats as an adult. I'm just kidding. But there are people just vaping around the ship, which you're not supposed to do, and it's annoying, and it does smell. I think people think it doesn't smell. It definitely smells. So Bluetooth speakers and vaping, they're the two things I want removed from cruises. That's the hill I'm going to die on today. But otherwise, people have been great. It's been a really, really nice group of people, not a ton of kids. Some kids on board, but not a overwhelming amount, which I find all the time on NCL anyway. It's not super kid heavy usually, unless it's summertime. But it's been great. And all in all, I would say, like, on a scale of 1 to 100, this cruise was like a solid 89. A couple little weird, quirky things, but really, really nice. We've been having a great time. I will check in tomorrow with the disembarkation. Otherwise, that is my quick review and debrief. We would love for you to watch some more of our videos. We're going to have more videos on this cruise so you can see all the different food and everything that we ate and all the entertainment, all the fun things. We would love for you to subscribe to our channel. Come along and check us out and enjoy this amazing cruise life with us. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions about the NCL Prima, feel free to throw them in the chat below, or you can always email me at jp@bytesizecruises.com. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and stay tuned for disembarkation. Hey everyone, John here from the future, back to talk to you about disembarkation. This part's going to be very quick because disembarkation was amazing. The quickest disembarkation I've ever had on any ship, especially out of New York, which is usually a little bit of a messy situation. So we got back, we were docked around 6:30 a.m. We were back in the harbor by like 5:30, but it takes a while in New York for some reason. Generally on Royal, when you go back to Bayonne, you can get off the ship before 7 a.m. When you come back to New York, I guess it might be a union thing or something with the Hudson there, the port. So it takes them a little while to get going, and it usually takes about 45 minutes to an hour for customs to clear the ship in New York for whatever reason. On this particular occasion, it did not. We were having a cup of coffee. We ran back to the rooms just to kind of clean up and get everything ready. And by 7 a.m., a little bit before 7 a.m., they announced walk-off was ready. You are welcome to come down. So we got our stuff, we started walking down, and we were off the ship in about 3 minutes. There was no line. We literally walked down. They made you go through the theater. Otherwise, we would have literally just walked down the steps and walked off the ship. But we went around through the theater, came out the other side, and we were off the ship. We were at Penn Station by 7:15, and we were on our train back to Hamilton, New Jersey at 8:14. So easy breezy on the disembarkation. Everything was great. So thank you all again for watching. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful day and happy cruising. Bye.